Speaking of figures, I did buy. I have a figure addiction now, and I bought a third figure.
In the span of what?
In the span of like a week, maybe 2 weeks.
They're the best.
And the figure that I bought is a Rem figure. Okay, and
how did I fucking know?
What?
How did I know?
Because we are going to talk about the season 2 trailer for rezero. The blue hair maid.
The best one.
rezero. Okay. And look, I know people think, she's, everybody loves Rem, it's so basic, But but I can't help that there's I just can't help that there's so much Rem merch out there.
That's the thing with ReZero and popular anime. It's just like once you go into it, it's like a wormhole. You just want to keep buying shit.
Yeah,
so much shit.
Not that I like. Okay, first of all, ReZero. We've talked about it a few times on this podcast. I recently finished it, and I absolutely loved it. I love, and I know you guys are gonna maybe Cody's gonna throw something at me right now. I love Subaru, dude. I don't love who he was, but I love who he becomes. And because I know we talked about Gleipnir, and I said I don't relate to it, but I could I could empathize with it, I guess. But with Subaru, I can straight up relate to him. Cuz when I was in high school, I would have done some Subaru,
you're
real Subaru type shit.
Oh wait, how old is Subaru?
He has to be pretty young.
Yeah, because I was like, you're in high school. Obviously, you wouldn't do that as a grown man. There's things.
But Subaru's not a grown man.
No, definitely not. He has to be like 18, I think, or something like that. He's young.
I know. Dude, it's so. Sometimes watching it was so cringy because I could see a younger, dumber version of myself in Subaru, and it was like. So accurate at times in like just the way that he was doing. Like there's a moment in the show where they make a big deal of him doing things, acting out, and using her, Amelia, as an excuse to do those things when really he's just doing it for himself, And it's such a spot on like depiction of like just being dumb and thinking that you're in love. Man, it was cringy. It was hard for me to watch. But, I
he got through it and you love him.
But then when he broke through, man, I was like, I was there for him, dude.
Well, but he doesn't get over it.
No, he does.
He's still in love with Amelia.
He's still in love with Amelia. And yes, Rem is ride or die for sure.
Yeah, the trailer. They both heard me audibly laughed hard as fuck when she is fighting some other person, and literally there's flashbacks of her and Subaru and him looking at her, and I just said out loud, I was like, Rem is the biggest simp because she just loves a man who doesn't love her back.
It makes little to no sense for her to care so much about him.
Yeah, she's psycho.
Yeah, and also, what are they going to call season 2? Is it going to be Rem dies again? Because Rem dies all the time.
Yeah, no one gives a shit when anyone dies. Like, that's the thing. It's like, oh, someone died? Okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. It'll be good.
Rem's going to die a lot in season 2. I mean, dude.
Spoiler.
Yeah, she dies so much in the first season. It's very sad.
And she dies inside because Subaru doesn't love her.
Yeah. Doesn't she kill him?
I mean, kind of.
Technically, we're going to
tomato.
Ram.
That's the only defense for like him not picking her is like she did murder him.
I mean, it's like if you haven't been physically assaulted by someone that you loved, then have you really loved?
Okay, Josh.
This is your parts of relating to
what? My parts of
you never been demolished by a girl with a chain ball before? What are you?
Well,
yeah, chain ball, knife, whatever, same thing.
What the fuck?
Just me.
Just me? Okay, cool.
Just you and people in like group therapy sessions.
Right.
I think is his. I think that's why he wanted to start this podcast, just so he could have
people to talk to.
Therapy, too.
But look, some people mistake passion for love. Or no, I said that wrong. Some people mistake.
No, you're right.
Well, that too. But some people also mistake violence for passion. But like love passion. You know,
That's a different thing.
Okay, you.
That's a different category.
I'm making sense up here and in here, and that's all that matters.
No.
Yeah.
So the trailer.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
what do you
so-
think? I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I watched it a long time ago,
Okay.
and I just never fucking looked back.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I really didn't. I watched it once, and then I was just like, oh, I need to burn that a little bit just towards the end there. But what do you think? I mean, since it's so current to you, you think you're I mean, obviously you're hyped.
Dude, I'm super hyped. I really enjoyed season 1 a lot. It is pretty fresh in my mind still. I had watched the first half and then took a long time to watch the second half because there are arcs to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, each arc, some can be harder to get through than others. Yeah. But like the whole white whale arc was amazing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. That was pretty crazy.
But yeah, so having it so fresh in my mind, I'm really excited. I thought this, you know, I thought, you know, it's obviously based off a light novel and instead of a manga. But yeah, and I've never really, I don't think ever read a light novel. But if they weren't making a season 2 and it wasn't this close to coming out, I would be reading the light novel. That's how like invested I am in the series and in the story. And season 2 looks pretty good. I think they did a good job of you know, they showed you one of the Cody's. I told you Cody was going to throw something. They show you one of the like the witches and you know, and then the rest is like pretty. It's a pretty cool trailer because the rest is just kind of like action shots from the series.
Yeah, it's pretty like self-explanatory. It's pretty much it's just like encapsulating what the first season was for me watching it again, and my anger really came out just seeing that goddamn face. Him just trying. It just makes me angry. It just makes me angry.
They don't reveal a lot of plot points in the trailer. So, but I did hear you laugh again or get frustrated again because you just, you know, you see Rem and all these other people doing so much shit and then
him
he's
crying.
doing,
him crying and Melia rubbing his fucking shoulders and him just being like, I can't do anything. And it's like, yeah, no shit.
But you can't tell me that moment that him and Rem had on the balcony when they were overlooking the city and he was like, he broke down and he told her,
of course, I'm not a hater towards ReZero. I watched it. I'm a hater of Subaru. That is very different than hating the whole series. Honestly, like I said before, I will watch the season 2 since it's coming out, but just I just can't feel that way about Subaru as a main character like you do. And of course he went through so much and you see these characters go through so much and they eventually change and whatever, but it's like Subaru's just so one note for me and he's such a real depiction of like what a young boy would be in that situation. Like those are the same decisions that I think a lot of young men would make, or young boys, I should say, because he's definitely not a man. Would, you know, some mistakes that they would make in that situation because it is kind of all a joke to him in the beginning. Oh yeah.
And but why wouldn't it be? You know?
No, because he's just like, oh shit, I'm put in this world that I've seen in fucking video games. I might as well take a whack at it.
Yeah.
And then his life just gets fucking worse and worse, and he just mentally is just exhausted. And at the end of season 1, I thought I'd like him more. There were some parts where I really was like, oh shit, oh my god, like this boy is going through so much. Like that scene with Rem and a couple other scenes where he's just like being real and like, you know, he has to do it as he's got to do what he's got to do. I just don't find him that likable. I wish we could agree. I wish Cody's very silent.
Yeah, Cody. Why are you so silent, dude?
I have no opinions on this. I stopped watching after like 4 episodes.
Oh yeah.
Did you stop watching because you just didn't like it, or
I didn't like the story that much? I didn't like the character, and I was like, oh, I don't have to keep watching this.
No one's making me watch this.
There's no reason. It's not like I'm like, oh, I gotta finish ReZero.
Yeah,
I'll just rewatch the first episode. You know.
Well, you're gonna have to rewatch it because we're talking about season 2.
Yeah,
I'm
seeing
just
the
kidding.
season 2
you're
trailer.
gonna have to watch it, right?
Now
Well,
you're
we're
gonna
gonna
be
pause
forced.
this and we're gonna watch it.
You know, I'm like, okay.
Even seeing the trailer didn't really get you excited.
No, because it was like,
all.
oh, these characters are exactly what I saw when I stopped watching it. So
That's how I felt
it's
too.
Just the same shit.
It was same shit, different day.
Yeah.
Same shit, different day.
And if the theme of this, you know, anime is like nothing changes and it's just gonna keep being like this, I'm like, hey, you did it. I don't care. Like I don't
But
like
he does change, dude. He was an asshole in the first half of the series, but in the second half, like he has his little redemption arc, and
it's just not enough. It was just not enough. It was like I was grasping. I grasped it and I held it and I wanted to keep holding on. It just wasn't enough for me. I think just that whole like obviously the repetition of it also was very embedded in my fucking mind, and I think that's where I saw myself being like I want to be open minded about this character, but it's so developed in my brain about what the fuck he did for the first half. It's just like everything else is like you can do anything.
Yeah, but the repetition I thought was kind of cool just because it gave us a chance to see the same characters in different situations, and so they became more interesting. But you're saying Subaru didn't.
I said no. Everyone else in the repetition was spot on. Loved it. Just Subaru.
Poor Subaru, guys.
Not poor thing.
She's so pissed.
I don't know.
Poor Subaru.
I can't.
Poor Subaru.
Josh is.
I'm just saying,
he
dude.
loves him.
I really, dude.
He's your writer. Is he like one of your favorite main characters of all time?
No, definitely not. But you know, I think I don't know. I think he, you know, he's got it tough, dude. And he's just doing the best he can. And at a certain point, he does the best. There is a point where he doesn't care what he's doing. But then there comes a point when he's doing the best he can. I'm excited for season 2.
I want to watch it just because I want to, hopefully he gets a little better and I'm able to
and hopefully
persevere for the other characters, because that's what I did in the first season.